from This Week in Trucking. This is Hot Right Now, and I'm Amy. We're heading deeper into 2026, and while the regulatory pressure isn't going away, the freight market is starting to show some signs of life. This week, we're breaking down what's changing on federal policy, where the market is headed, and how small carriers can position themselves correctly to stay profitable. But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. Your support helps us keep bringing weekly videos your way. So to begin with, cargo theft could finally become a federal priority. Cargo theft has become one of the fastest growing problems in trucking, and for a long time, enforcement has been fragmented. Most cargo theft cases are handled locally or in the state, which makes it hard to track organized theft that actually operate within multiple states. And that may finally be changing. Congress is moving closer to passing legislation that would make cargo theft a federal enforcement issue, giving federal agencies more authority to investigate. Also to share data and coordinate across state lines. The goal is to treat cargo theft less like a local property crime and more like the organized supply chain crime it's become. As you know, one stolen load can mean a lot of revenue issues, insurance headaches, and even damaged broker relationships. Here's what this means for you. Even with stronger enforcement coming, carriers still need to protect themselves. Secure parking, clear communication with your brokers, and proper cargo documentation matter more than ever. But in the long term, federal involvement could finally bring consistency and real pressure on theft networks that have thrived for years. But now let's talk fuel. According to the EIA, the national on-highway diesel price for this past week was $3.62 per gallon. But last week we saw $3.53. That's a small bump, not necessarily a spike. Prices are still far more manageable than what they have been for carriers in the past years, but fuel isn't cheap. So this is what this means for you. This simply gives you more space to focus more on rates, lanes, and utilization instead of just pure survival mode. Now let's focus on the freight market. Let's break down the latest DAT trend lines. In a week-over-week overview from January 19th to the 25th, versus January 12th to the 18th, spot load posts decreased -2.3%, and spot truck posts increased 1.5%. This tells us the market cooled slightly week to week. There were fewer loads posted and slightly more trucks competing for them, which can put short-term pressure on spot rates in some lanes. In a month-over-month overview, we can compare December to November 2025. Spot load posts increased 50.3%, and spot truck posts decreased 3%. This is where things get interesting. Load volume jumped significantly month over month, while truck availability actually dropped. That's a strong signal that demand improved late in the year without a flood of new capacity entering the market. In a year-over-year overview, we can compare December 2025 to December 2024, where spot load posts increased by 54.6%, and spot truck posts decreased 3.1%. Year over year, the picture is even clearer. There's more freight on the spot market than this time last year, with fewer trucks chasing it. That's a healthier setup for carriers heading into 2026. In the short term, you can expect some choppiness from week to week, but if we zoom out, we can actually start to see a market that is a bit healthier than what we were seeing in 2024. Freight demand is up, capacity is tighter, and that's the foundation needed for more consistent rate improvement, especially for carriers who stay selective with lanes and timing. This is the type of market where timing matters just as much as rates. Even good freight can become a problem if you're waiting weeks to get paid, when fuel, insurance, or maintenance are due now. That's why a lot of carriers use payment tools that offer same-day funding, no hidden fees, and actual top-tier customer support. So cash actually keeps moving and you're not forced to pass on solid loads because of timing. If that's something you're considering, I'll leave you a link to Bobtail's factoring service in the description of this video. A factoring service that's built for truckers by truckers. And for the final takeaway, 2026 is shaping up to be a year where disciplined carriers go for the win. Clean compliance, smart load selection, and steady cash flow can make a difference between surviving and actually rebuilding margins. And remember, if you want more quick updates like this, don't forget to subscribe to This Week in Trucking's free newsletter. We break down the hottest freight markets by equipment type, plus interviews with carriers sharing their real cost per mile and profits so you know what's actually working for everyone right now. I always leave you a link in the description of the videos. Don't forget to leave me in the comments, what's your biggest focus right now? Rate, fuels, or cash flow? Don't forget to subscribe and drive safe.